going on, everyone? Eric from the Goose Helmet Shop giving you this week's fishing report. To start things off, freshwater fishing is really picking up now that we're getting some cooler temperatures coming into the Cape area. Both bass and trout fishing are really heating up. Trout are moving into the shallows now finally, so people are getting them with flies, little crankbaits, little swim baits, little mayfly nymphs, things like that. So definitely be on the lookout for trout coming into these next few weeks. The bass fishing is still on fire, both large and smallmouth. They're feeding on a lot of the little baby herring in a lot of the ponds, so any small little twitch bait, crankbait, that's matching the hatch really well, or just fishing your average rubber worms, Senkos, things like that. That's putting the hurt to a lot of the bass. Moving on over to saltwater, we're definitely noticing the fall run starting to pick up. A lot of bait moving around, a lot of fish moving around, multiple species. You got your bass, blues, albies, bonito. It's all in the mix, and so you never really know what you're going to get depending on where you are. The bay is starting to get some really interesting bass activity, some big ones too. People fishing at night in any of those bayside beaches, fishing larger black needlefish, pencil poppers, things like that. Soft plastics have been working really well, large pintails, sluggos, things like that. Bluefish are still around in the bay, so people are trolling around and casting for them. Up by Billingsgate area and heading on up north towards the path. People are getting some blues and bonito up there too, as well as schoolie bass. Moving on over to the outside, the outer Cape fishing, the outer beaches are actually fishing really well still. You're getting a lot of bait moving around, a lot of peanut bunker, silver sides. So again, small stuff. You're casting Castmasters, Hopkins, Jetty Ghost lures, anything small and flashy to match that hatch. Then moving on down to the sound side, that's where the real activity is. You're getting a lot of false albacore, bonito, blues, Spanish mackerel. You never really know what you're going to run into. Launching any of those boat access points from Chatham, anywhere all the way down to Falmouth. You never know what you're going to run into. They've been really picky though, the false albacore and bonito, feeding on really small baits. So you got to do your best. Drop your tippet size down, 12, 15-pound fluorocarbon. Small little epoxy jigs, small soft plastics, flies have been working really well for those guys. So don't get discouraged if you see them but aren't catching them. That's kind of the name of the game right now, and you just got to get lucky. Moving on over to Monomoy and the Chatham area, there are some big bass down there. Again, it's kind of hit or miss depending on the tides and where you are specifically. But if you put your time in, you will be rewarded. And there are some albies out there too, some big ones, so you never really know what you're going to find. Moving on out to tuna. Unfortunately, with the commercial season starting to close up again, the quota being filled, you don't have too much of a chance to go out and catch anything. There are some small fish around in the mid 60-inch range. We did hear some out east of the shipping lanes and east of Nauset. So again, you just got to put your time in, get lucky, hope you can find some fish casting on the surface. If you put mackerel down, you might end up tangling with some big fish. That's mostly been what we're hearing out there, but there are definitely some smaller 60, lower 70-inch fish out there. So like I said, put your time in, just good luck to you. So it looks like we're going to get a decent weather window this weekend. A great time to get out there, in between the strong blowing winds. So definitely come into the shop, get stocked up for this weekend, and we'll see you out there.